Good day, Comic Fam. Comics of the Voice here, and today is video 2 of me finding stuff at the thrift store. Thrift store finds. So we're gonna go through. Yeah, you can see them. Yeah, this is a good one. Stay tuned. Okay, Comic Fam. So the wifey poo and I went out and we hit this place called Value Village. She loves checking out. It's a thrift store. Find all cool stuff that people basically donate and then they sell it. Somebody must have been cleaning out some kid's closet because I have a bunch of these graphic novels and I got them pretty decent prices. I figured out the total value. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books. One of them's an omnibus. $185 retail. That's US. 185 Canadian. $140 US. First one that I found is this one here, Dungeons and Dragons. It's an omnibus of Dritz, Deward, and IDW, and I paid the big $6.49 for it, Canadian. And this was $24.99, so $25. And it doesn't say whether that's Canadian or US, so I gotta assume that's US dollars. So it's going to be about $30 something. And I was actually eyeballing this one for a while because I was going to get all the comic books. But now I got the omnibus of it, so pretty cool. So this will have the entire story, and it's probably the Homeland story would be my guess. Forgotten Realms, The Legend of Dritz. Some call it Drizzt, Deward, and I always called them just Dritz because that sounded good. Yeah, this is omnibus number 1, delivers the first 3 graphic novels in the Dark Elf trilogy, Homeland, Exile, and Sojourn. In one great book, the story takes you from the moments before the birth of Drizzt to the point where he leaves his subterranean home for the world and ventures into the unknown. This is one of my favorite stories. It's what got me into Dungeons and Dragons in the first place. I still have the 3 original books. Actually, no, I don't have them anymore. I gave those away because I have the hardcover version of it, of the Dark Elf trilogy. But the original 3 books I gave away to one of my students because he is a big fan of that. So, and the funny part is this is the only one I saw on the shelf at the start because my eyeballs were not working properly. I looked at the top shelf and I saw there was a Walking Dead volume 1, but it was like the 3000th printing or whatever. And then I disregarded it because some person came up next to me and they didn't smell the greatest. Because I'm up here in the Great White North in Canada, and it's wintertime, so people don't think about personal hygiene through the winter months. So it kind of turned me off, and I walked away for a little bit. And the wife actually had come over to that exact same shelf. She looked on the top shelf, and she brought me a stack of these and said, "Did you see all these?" And I went, "Where the hell did you find those?" She goes, "Over in the science fiction fantasy." I said, "I was just there." And all I found was this. And she pulls out a stack. So I grabbed this one. This is an English. It's a former field agent for M16. I think this came out in like 2000, early 2000s. I kind of remember this one. See, it's made in England. Desolation Jones. This is supposed to be an ongoing story. I'm pretty sure it got optioned at some point, but then it just died. So I don't know what to tell you. Where it is, yeah, anyway, 2005 or something. So I thought, what the hell, I'll take a shot and I'll read it. So it's a Warren Ellis book. Sure. There's another omnibus, Dynamite. Boom, The Boys. So this is volume 1. So this thing collects The Boys 1 to 14, includes the stories, the name of the game, Cherry, Get Some, and Gloria's 5-year plan. And it's got bonus material inside of it. Introduction, rare 4-page story for the comic book Legal Defense Fund. There's a script for The Boys #4, Garth Ennis, sketches and concept art, all of the series covers, and more. So, $7. What did this one retail for? $30 US. And it's in pretty decent shape. This one here was $5, and it was originally $20 Canadian. So he's getting the old calculator out. I already did it, so I'm telling you what it was. So The Boys, is that going to stay? Nope. Another cool one that I picked up. Dust covers, not the greatest on it, but $7. Premier Classic. What was this one? This was $32 Canadian. So this collects Wolverine Origin 1-6. Oh, the dust jacket. She'd be sliding off. What's the book look like underneath the dust jacket? Oh, all right. Let's check that out. So that's her without the dust jacket on it. Yeah. Not bad. It's in pretty decent shape. So everybody knows when this came out, everyone went apey for it. First printing 2006. Wolverine Origins. So my guess is it's going to be the origin of Wolverine. Get that dust jacket back on there, and I paid, yeah, it was the big $6.99 for that one. And this book, I already said it was $32. So yeah, I think I did good. Well, as always, my wife does better than me, because she's the one that found it after I had to abandon the aisle next to Mr. Smelly Man. So that's Wolverine Origins. Hopefully that'll stay there. These are like big books. Grab this one. Paid $6.49. Alan Moore. Needs no introduction. $22.99 originally. Wow. So this is this an omnibus? Doesn't say. It's just Alan Moore. So I'm assuming this has got the entire Watchmen series in it. It doesn't say. Probably something on the introduction. Maybe I should have read through that first. But anyway, I didn't pay much for it. This one was originally $23 Canadian, $20 US whenever it came out. I almost put this one back, but I said, you know what? I'm going to grab it because I'm a fan of George R.R. Martin. This is the Hedge Knight. And now I realize it says Hedge Knight 2. Short sword, or sworn sword. So obviously I need to get the first part of this, which is probably that one right there. But that's okay, because, you know, with the graphic novels, it carries on. And if anybody knows, this is from Game of Thrones. This is a prequel. The Hedge Knight is a book that R.R. Martin did to kind of explain Aegon, when Aegon became a knight. So there was this guy that was Hedge Knight, and Aegon ran away from home and became his squire. And this guy, who's just like a no frills knight, he's like a knight for hire. It's like Ronins with the Japanese. He's a knight that just kind of wanders the streets, and he doesn't have a liege or anybody that he swears fealty to, so they call them hedge knights. So Aegon, who is, you know, from the Targaryen family, snuck out and became a knight from this guy's tutelage. And this one was $5, originally $15 Canadian, $15.75 Canadian. So in the US market, $14.99. So that's probably the free book, because the way it works when you go to Value Village and you start buying books, if you buy 4, you get 1 free, but they'll pick whatever the cheapest one. So yeah, that was $4.99. So that's that book I got for nothing. And DC Superman Red Sun. This is Mark Miller, which, you know, he kind of does these what if kind of things. So what if Superman ended up in Russia instead of Smallville when he landed on Earth, and what would his life have been then? So it's kind of cool. I was, this actually came out a while ago too. This is an older book. Let's have a look. See here. So we got Mark Miller as the writer, Dave Johnson and Killan Plunkett is on the pencils. Andrew Robinson and Wade Wong are the inkers. And this came out 2004. So that's the copyright, 2004 anyway. Copyright 2003 DC. Mom, Apple Pie, Chevrolet, and Superman. Nope, Russian. So, again, I got to give hats off to the wife, because when she goes through these Value Villages or any of these thrift stores, she always finds all the cool stuff. I found one book and she finds the other 6. And I was right there. But it just kind of shows you the way that men look at things and the way that women look at stuff. I look, but I'm not actively looking. I'm just kind of just scanning the peepers. The books are all sideways, so you're walking around with your head kinked, trying to read all these titles because they're this away, right? So, like that, boom, but this away. You're not thinking anything of it. Your eyeballs just, they scan it and then right past it. So that's my big stack. So again, yeah, they were on now the Watchmen. I mean, that one should have been blatantly obvious to me, but I was too busy checking out the Dungeons and Dragons Omnibus, which I know these things. So $185 retail Canadian. And I think I paid like 20 something bucks. So you gotta love thrift stores. Yeah, they're beat up. Some of them are pretty rough, but there's a few that are actually really minty. You can tell somebody either didn't read them or they read them once carefully and then threw it on a shelf. But some of them are a little ratty. But you know what? I like my books read, because as you've seen with my other videos, and I talk about my collection, 8,000 some odd books. And my slab collection is not even at 100 yet. So I read my books. And then any of my slabs the slabs that I do own, I have raw copies of all of them. So again, reading. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is, episode 2 of my thrift finds for 2025. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you on the next one. See you on the next one. Talk to you on the next one. I'll talk to you, and you guys listen and watch and look. And take care.